we we are gonna take this from the top. Welcome to the spoiler review for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and oh boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. First off, we're gonna start off with Wanda. What the fuck? Okay, so at the end of WandaVision, we see Wanda chilling in like the fucking lake countryside somewhere with a bunch of trees in her little fucking cottage, sipping tea and reading from the Darkhold. Little did we know that entire fucking area was a demonic hellscape because Wanda has essentially been using the Darkhold's magic and it seeps into the earth and corrupts everything. I love the fact that when this begins, we know that America Chavez is essentially being chased by a creature. Now, the entire time, like I said in the spoiler-free review, I was working under the assumption that like there was like a demon or a creature after her for her abilities. They were gonna go to Wanda, get Wanda's aid, and then they were gonna team up in an attempt to essentially stop whatever the creature is from obtaining Chavez and using her power to just crack open the multiverse. That wasn't it. That wasn't it at all. Hey everybody, Sen here with today's sponsor for the video, NordPass. NordPass is a program created by the guys who made NordVPN. It stores all of your passwords in one location of your choosing offline that only you can access. It provides you with an autofill feature for the websites that you've already visited, and it also securely stores your credit card information offline that only you can access away from other people's prying eyes. But in the event that somebody's prying eyes are able to lay their eyes upon that of your information, NordPass will notify you of any data breaches involving your username, your passwords, or even your credit cards. And the best part, NordPass encrypts all of your data, like I said, locally, offline, that only you can access and the NordPass employees can't. If you're interested in trying out NordPass, visit nordpass.com/sen. Information is down in the description. You will get 2 years plus a free month for 50% off. Once again, that is nordpass.com/sen. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program. Wanda was behind it all, like across the board. The creatures that were hunting her, the death of the other Stephen Strange, all of this had to do with Wanda. If Elizabeth Olsen doesn't get a fucking award for being Wanda in this movie, she is being robbed. Because holy fuck, if before you could sit down and you could sympathize with Wanda, what is that right there? That is right here. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's just a thing back here. If before you could sympathize with Wanda, it kind of ends up on the back burner in this movie because she is cutting a swath through everyone. So when she first sees Steven and she basically reveals that she's behind everything, she tells him, she's like, the demons, their job was only to capture her and bring her back to me, which was more humane than me going out there and going to get her, because if I come and get her, I'm killing everyone. And she wasn't kidding, because she shows with the Comertage and she just bodies everyone. I mean, we're talking about sorcerers who were weaving spells to protect themselves from Sanctuary 1's attacks in Endgame being absolutely fucking decimated by Wanda. She's getting inside their minds, she's blowing up shit over here, she's dusting motherfuckers over here in the corner, and you're like, holy fuck. Like, we always knew that she was the strongest Avenger, but where, Wanda, was that the Darkhold? Did you get all this from the Darkhold? And you can see the corrupting effects that the Darkhold is having on Wanda, because we see the alternate version of Wanda who looks like the Wanda from WandaVision, and she looks normal. But then you see our Wanda and she's got like the dark circles underneath her eyes because I don't think she's been sleeping. The tips of her fingers are black and they're corrupted like Agatha Harkness was in WandaVision. Her lips are dry and cracking. Like, she looks insane. She looks amazing. Elizabeth Olsen. Good God. that's Wanda Maximoff right there. That's a beautiful woman. Absolutely beautiful in every way, shape, or form. Terrifying. This movie made me fucking terrified of Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff. But goddamn, if there weren't a couple scenes where she was just standing around idling about, and I was like, I'd let you destroy the multiverse 100%. I don't care about these people. I don't care about these people. But Strange fails in protecting America. They get knocked into the multiverse, and we see them pass through a bunch of other multiverses. Now, I'm gonna point out one, because one of the multiverses they went through was the multiverse for Spider-Man Noir, because when they went through the multiverse, they turned black and white, and then 30s and 40s jazz music started playing in the background. That's definitely Spider-Man Noir's universe. Then another universe that they passed through turned them into cartoons. This confirms that Miles Morales from Across the Spider-Verse, or Into the Spider-Verse, the first movie, his universe exists in 616. Basically, the characters in the MCU can transition into universes where everyone's a cartoon. Because Strange definitely references the fact that when he comes out, he's like, did we pass through a multiverse where we turned into paint? And America's like, yeah, I've been there before. It sucks eating. Now, when they end up in this new universe, like, everything's all prim and proper, but a little bit kind of reverse. Green means stop, red means go. And they see a statue dedicated to Stephen Strange. It says, in memory of Stephen Strange, who sacrificed his life to stop the mad titan Thanos. And I was like, oh, so in this universe, Stephen died saving, Thanos. They go inside, they meet Mordo. Now, I had originally thought that we were going to be seeing our Mordo, but it seems as though the issues with our Mordo from 616 have been teed off, because Strange essentially says that him and Mordo got into a beef, and I did not realize that this froze, like, at all. Yep, I'm froze. Oh well, we're just gonna be like talking about stuff. Hold on, I may have to like close this out. Oh no, wait, and we're back. Technical difficulties. So they end up meeting Baron Mordo, and initially I thought that Baron Mordo was going to be our Mordo, but it seems as though Mordo's situation was essentially teed up off screen, apparently, because Strange says that Mordo was the one who welcomed me into Comitage, but then we became enemies, and he's dedicated his life to essentially destroy me. So it seems as though Strange and Mordo have had their issues off screen over there somewhere, and I don't know whether or not we're ever going to circle back to our Mordo. But essentially, Mordo put something in the tea, which was a callback to the Ancient One when Strange was like, what'd you put inside the tea? LSD? Drugs? She's like, nah, man, it's just tea. Yeah, no, this Mordo definitely put like LSD and drugs in the tea to knock out both Strange and America. And they wake up in the sanctum, I wouldn't even say sanctum, the secret headquarters of the Illuminati. Now, when they initially woke up in the Illuminati headquarters, I thought, okay, this is where he's going to meet Christine. And, she's going to be working for them, and then we're probably going to meet like Tony Stark. We don't get to see Tony Stark. We basically get to see the Ultron robots, which so good. Like this is the version of Ultron that Tony wanted to make. Instead, we got the other Ultron. The other Ultron. And then he's brought before the Illuminati. Now, the members of the Illuminati were not all of the members that I thought they were going to be. So we had Captain Peggy Carter, which this is another Captain Carter. This is not the Captain Carter from What If. If I remember correctly, we're still getting the Captain Carter from What If in another series down the line somewhere, because they definitely said that what is her name? Her name is Haley Atwell. They said that Haley Atwell would definitely be returning to play Captain Carter in the future, which is good to see, because I fucking love Captain Carter. We had Black Bolt, which I did not expect at all, because whoo, does my boy Black Bolt look clean? Oh, yo, everybody in here look clean, but it was dope as shit seeing Black Bolt. Like, Marvel, listen to me. Give me, like, get that same dude and give me an Inhumans movie. An actual Inhumans movie that does the Inhumans justice. Please. Because there were certain things dropped in the background, like, this is King Black Bolt, King of the Inhumans, and Keeper of the Terrigen Mist. Yes. Captain Monica Rambeau, which that's a confirmation that the person that we see in the energy was not Superior Iron Man like a lot of us thought it was going to be. It was Monica Rambeau who becomes Captain Marvel in her universe, which begs the question of what exactly happened to Carol Danvers in this universe, since it seems as though she did not become Captain Marvel. She might have ended up taking the place that Monica did and might have been the one who created Sword. We also got Reed Richards. John Krasinski. Woo! Didn't expect it. Fucking love it. Looked absolutely dope as shit as Reed. My love for these characters was very short-lived. And then we got Professor Charles Xavier. And this is definitely the X-Men Charles Xavier, because he rolls in the golden chair with the X-Men, the animated TV show from the 90s song playing in the background, which was cool as shit. Like, I literally had a fanboy moment where I almost popped out of my chair with me and my friends when he wheels himself into the room. And they basically explain why exactly it is that they arrested Steven, which is the Strange from their universe used the Darkhold, and in using the Darkhold, he accidentally destroyed another universe. And upon basically the destruction of the other universe, they deemed Strange too dangerous, and they decided to basically kill him. Yeah. So Strange finds the Book of Ashanti, which is the opposite of the Darkhold, and they use it to kill Thanos. Thanos got washed. Okay? When I say washed, I mean washed. If you see this movie, or if you're gonna go see this movie again, when you see Thanos on the ground impaled and he's dead, look at his hand. That is a fully equipped, ready to launch Infinity Gauntlet. He had every single stone, and they still washed him. Holy shit. That in and of itself was just a wild moment for me. But Black Bolt essentially destroys their universe of Stephen Strange, and then they created the lie, which was a lie for the masses and basically for themselves, which is that Strange sacrificed his life and he died defeating Thanos, when in truth he put himself up for judgment for what he did under the effects of the Darkhold. Also, that universe is Strange did not have a mustache or a goatee. Not sure how I feel about that. It was just Benedict Cumberbatch's face, and I'm like, I'm too used to you now having like the Doctor Strange rock, so watching you fresh face, that completely trips me out. But the entire time, Strange is like, yo, y'all think I'm the danger, but like Wanda Maximoff is about to come here and kill all y'all. And they're talking big shit. They're like, oh, she can't do anything to us. We have certain things in place to protect ourselves from her. No, you don't. No, you don't at all. Because this probably started a like 30-minute sequence, which may end up being my favorite sequence that's ever been shot in the MCU, where Wanda shows up, she just starts killing everyone. First off, Reed Richards, smartest man in the universe, instantly lets Wanda know what Black Bolt's power is and where it's going to be coming from. Because Reed is like, Wanda, we understand why you're here. We can't give you America. And if you make another move, all it will take is Black Bolt saying one whisper from his mouth and you're dead. And Wanda's like, what mouth? He about to scream at me with what mouth? And she removes Black Bolt's mouth. And in that moment of panic, he screams like he yelps. And when he yelps, his voice has nowhere to go. And it just out the side of his head. The second that happened, I went, this is not a normal MCU movie, and these people are about to get fucking murdered. So instantaneously, Monica Rambeau and Captain Carter, well, oh no, before I even get to that, Reed Richards gets turned into fucking confetti. Just confetti. Shreds him. Screaming and all. And his head pops. And I was like, that's the second head pop that she's pulled off when she's come here. You guys should probably give her what she wants. And Monica Rambeau and Captain Carter decide to throw hands. And I'm like, okay. So I definitely know Monica's going to be able to last. But Captain Carter is definitely going to get washed. And I like the fact that we got a call back to Steve where she is knocked on the ground. And Wanda's like, yo, you should stay down. And she's like, ugh, I could do this all day. I was like, oh, no matter the universe, that's always Captain America's slogan. And she kills her, which is she takes the shield and she yeets it at her at like this ridiculous speed. And she can't catch it. And it cuts her in half. And I was like, oh, probably not dead. We can stitch you back together. Monica tries her best to throw hands, and it kind of ends in a stalemate, and then Wanda decides to drop a statue on her. I don't think Monica died from the statue, because we've seen Captain Marvel take worse hits, and I can't think of a statue falling on top of her being what does her in and kills her, but chances are Captain Marvel got knocked the fuck out from that statue dropping on her. And then what basically begins next is my favorite chase scene ever, which is, holy fuck, that chase scene is terrifying. Because the entire time, it's just Strange knowing he can't fight Wanda because he's too weak. America, terrified out of her mind, and Christine, a fucking human, and they are running down these corridors trying to shut these doors, and Wanda is just running through, like, she's got like this hop, but she is just running through these doors, shredding everything. And then they shut like the big door, and you're like, okay, that's probably gonna take her like 5 seconds to rip through instead of like instantaneously. And she's like, nah, I'm just gonna like warp around and get behind America and just like snatch her up. I skipped the death. Hold on. Charles Xavier. I'm not gonna fake. When Charles took her into the dreamscape, I went, he's gonna be able to hold her there for maybe like 5 seconds. And you see the other Wanda, because she's basically possessing the body of the Wanda from this universe. And he's trying to pull her out from underneath the rubble, which is the rubble in Sokovia from when the building collapsed. And as he's trying to pull her out, Wanda, the Wanda from our universe, shows up behind him, grabs his head, and snaps his neck. And when that happened, I went, Charles ever died in the dreamscape? Now, he's been captured in the dreamscape, tortured in the dreamscape, lost in the dreamscape, transferred his mind from one body to another body in the dreamscape. He's never been killed, to my knowledge, in the dreamscape. And then I realized, Wanda fried his mind. Like, not only did she kill his psychic consciousness, she just shredded him. There was nothing to come back to his body. So he just flatlined. But back to her chasing them. Like, it's the funniest scene ever because, like, she's hobbling because she's injured from fighting all these people. But while she's hobbling, it's the most terrifying shit ever because you know that, like, if this person catches you, they're instantaneously going to kill you and fucking shred you. And you're trying to get away from them. And they drop an entire river on Wanda. Doesn't help. They reach the MacGuffin. They get the MacGuffin. You think they're going to use the MacGuffin to kill Wanda. She destroys the MacGuffin and, like, throws them into another universe. Now, the way in which America's powers were explained is she opens up portals to other realities. But when she's scared, she opens up portals to essentially the reality that she needs to go. And they basically send Strange to the reality that Strange needs to be in. Because when he gets this reality, everything is dying. And it looks like it's dying kind of like how the universe was dying in What If, where everything's decaying, and they basically explain it that, like, two universes collided, and this is like the shrapnel. And they reach the Sanctum Sanctorum, and in the Sanctum Sanctorum is another Doctor Strange. And he's the only person who survived in this universe because he's the one who caused the situation. Now, pay attention to what that Strange is saying, because he basically says that he used the Darkhold to fight off a threat, and he lost. And this is the outcome, which is basically like their world just got fucked. Who's the threat? We don't know. Is it in the post-credit scene? Maybe. Now, of course they fight, because it's Doctor Strange and an evil version of himself. They're definitely going to scrap. They fight. Evil Strange gets yeeted out the fucking window. Their fight is dope because they actually fight with music, which I thought was a interesting choice for their fight back and forth, because we hadn't seen it in the MCU before. We'd seen spells, but we've never seen like a spell cast that turned music into weapons that could be thrown around. But he gets yeeted out the window and he lands on the gate outside and it kills him. And Strange is like, well, I need to use the Darkhold. Opens up the pages, because the entire time Wanda's back in our reality and she's done found like the Darkhold temple that was built in her honor, and she's got America and she's about to cast a spell to extract the powers from her and put them into herself. And Wong's there climbing up the side of the mountain, and Strange, basically he dreamwalks his consciousness into the body of the dead Strange from the beginning of the movie. And what's interesting is this instant blowback, because essentially the demons who, or the souls of the dead, they don't like that. They're like, hey yo, you're Sorcerer Supreme, my boy, but you're supposed to be Sorcerer Supreme of the living. Once you die, you're ours. They start attacking Strange. Strange uses his master the mystic arts to basically weave them into his power for the body, and he goes to fight Wanda. She doesn't care. Well, he puts him a good fight. They trap her for like 3 seconds. She breaks out. She mops his body, and he gives America a speech, which is basically, this power is your power. It always takes you where you need to go. Send her where she needs to go. America opens up the portal, and she sends Wanda, our Wanda, to the living room of the Wanda whose mind she was controlling. And I like this choice, because there was no power that was going to be able to stop Wanda. There wasn't a power-up Strange was going to be able to get. There wasn't a team-up between him and Wong. There was nothing that they could do collectively together that would have been able to stop Wanda from just fucking everything. So, what did he have to do? He basically had to show Wanda the monster that she became. Easiest way to do that, show her that she terrifies her fucking kids. Because one of the first things she says is, I would never hurt you, Billy and Tommy. I'd never hurt anyone. And I'm like, did you tell the sorcerers of Kamatage this before you turned them to dust? Or did you tell the Illuminati this before you showed up and you started like killing everyone in their entire fucking organization? But all you've done this entire movie is kill people. And she's able to like look in the mirror and realize the monster that she's become. And I like the fact that there's closure between both her and the other version of her. The other version of her walks up and touches her on the face and says, you don't have to worry, they'll always be loved. And she's able to let go. She realizes the monster that she's become, and she basically defeats herself. Because that was the only way it was going to stop. The only way to stop Wanda is to make Wanda realize she's fucking up. And that's what they do. They made her realize that she's fucking up. And she brings down the entire temple on herself. Now, of course, there's like more or less, how do we even put it? I took notes, people, because there's a lot to remember. Oh, she destroys all the copies of the Darkhold throughout the entire multiverse. So there is no longer a Darkhold anywhere in the multiverse. They are all gone to make sure that nobody else can get corrupted. Christine returns back to her universe, but before she does, Strange admits that, you know, he's always loved her and he's never been man enough to basically say that, and that's more or less created a lot of the complications that he's had to face in his life. America Chavez goes to Kamatage where she starts training to be a sorcerer, which is dope as shit, because then she can apply not only her magical abilities but also the abilities of Kamatage itself. So she'll end up being like a double threat in the future. Strange ends up getting the third eye from his other self, which is a holdover, I believe, from using the Darkhold, because of the fact, well, I don't think it's from him taking control of his dead body. I think it's from a curse from the Darkhold like the Stephen Strange from that random universe had in his forehead. And then at the end of the entire fucking movie, his wife shows up. And I always call her the wife because I never remember her name. Clea Strange. She shows up at the end of the movie to basically take Strange somewhere. And when she slices open the universe thing, it's Dormammu's mirror dimension, which means Dormammu was probably sitting around like, oh, he don't got the time stone no more. Let me go holler at my old boy Doctor Strange. Me and him got some words that we need to exchange. Ooh, so much good. This movie is so good. Like I fucking loved this movie. It's really good. Like it's a nice combination of horror and also action. Now there can be some things along the lines of some people saying that it's a retread for Wanda's story, because it's basically Wanda dealing with the grief again. But then, in all honesty, at the end of WandaVision, we saw her messing with the Darkhold. So we already knew that Darkhold was going to have, like, its claws in her. So this is basically the end of Wanda's grief arc. I don't think she'll be chasing after the ghost of her children anymore, which is pretty much good. I'm interested to see where exactly Clea and Strange end up, because it seems as though they're going to Dormammu's universe in the dark dimension, because apparently there's been an incursion, and if it's an incursion that not even Dormammu can handle, I really have to wonder who exactly it is over there in that dimension fucking shit up. But yeah, I love this movie. If you enjoyed this movie as well, you know I'm gonna be down there in the comment sections responding to everything, because this movie is dope as fucking shit. I gotta do like a little bit of editing. It is super fucking late. I really wanted to get this out. Oh, this is gonna mop like probably be like 30 minutes long, because it's like 2 separate parts, but you know me. Same thing as before, there is not going to be any spoilery topics talked about this weekend, or at least I'm going to try and keep the titles as spoiler free as possible. But then once Monday rolls around, like it's open season. Or I might just, this may be like the last Doctor Strange video I drop until Monday, and then Monday it's basically just going to be open season, where I'm talking about every single aspect of the movie going forward. But yeah, whole lot of fun. We've got some content to look forward to, and I will catch you in the next one.